Welcome back to the only podcast that's more excited to see you than you are to see us. I'm Travis, and I'm here with Jen once again.
Hi.
Still here in Seattle, still doing the fun things. Still enjoying talking to the people that listen to the show.
Still YouTube obsessed is what you mean to say.
Obsessed. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you might have noticed that there's some new art on the channel, and maybe a new name even, vidIQ Podcast, which doesn't really change anything. We're still here, still doing a thing.
It just feels nice to have a conclusive.
Anyone who's been around this podcast knows the name. Now, of course, the audio podcast hasn't changed or anything, but you'll notice that the YouTube channel has, and it's I think it looks cool. Looks cool.
I think it looks great. We're all looking suave.
We're almost like the Avengers of YouTube.
We do look like a superhero team.
Totally amazing looking. I love it.
YouTube superheroes.
So let me hit you with the quick hit. For those of you new to the channel, of course, we're here to help you grow your YouTube channels, and we give advice and talk about candy and everything else. But we actually have a comment here from our YouTube channel. I just wanted to share it because we talk about YouTube, so let's do that. This one is from Snow Family Racing. I've been working with a vidIQ coach to get my largely search-based channel into browse 2 weeks ago.
Ooh.
I had a channel get 5,000 views in a week, and it's still going. I'm working on more browse-based content, and it seems to be working. Views are up, revenue is up, subs are up, all good indicators. Let's go.
Let's go coaching.
Congratulations. If you're interested in coaching, there'll be a link in the description. That is from one of the people who's
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when people are watching all of our content.
Let's talk about
channel, one-on-one.
I know.
Coaching, now with video reviews, too.
Discord.
If you just want to dip your toe in the water with a coach.
Talk a little bit about that, the video reviews.
The video reviews, you can now submit just a video for a review. You don't have to fully commit to one-on-one coaching. You can just send in a video, have a coach review it with like a crazy amount of feedback, in my opinion. Especially if you're listening to us and we're talking about something, maybe you tried to execute it and you don't know if you did, which is fair. You can have one of our coaches look at it, and then maybe kind of sort of you want to sign up for one-on-one coaching after.
There you go. And maybe get more browse-based content.
Or maybe you just made an awesome video and your coach is going to tell you how incredible it actually was.
Sometimes that's all we need.
That's so cool. I love that.
You know, there was
we have this success.
We talked about last episode YouTube terms. This
Yes.
person used some terms, browse and search. And again, we talked to a lot of people who are new to YouTube and have no idea what some of these words are. Let's talk a little bit about search and browse and what that means, because what they talked about is they wanted to take their search-based content into browse-based content. And I think there's some people watching right now that are like, I have no idea what that means.
That's fair. I think this is a more complicated thing.
Yeah. So let's quickly talk about that.
Quick.
Let's talk about what search-based content is. All right, this is super easy. How to unclog my toilet.
Joe is back.
Joe is back. Joe the plumber be back. How to make a chocolate cake. That's search-based content. It's like, I'm searching it up. I want to know how to do a thing. I want to know how to unclog my toilet with a chocolate cake. How about that? Now you're viral.
That's it. That's all you need.
Can you do that? Can you make a plunger out of chocolate cake?
I was going to say your craft channel.
Your refrigerator channel.
Did you see the name I gave your craft channel?
No.
In my video?
Oh, what was it? No, I missed it. What was it? I saw the video, but I forgot. What did you say?
I gave your channel a name.
Do you remember what it was?
I'm not going to tell you.
I got to rewatch it again? I watched that segment like 3 times. I don't remember seeing it. Where, was it on the bottom or something?
I gave you and John's channel
a
channel name.
So on the main vidIQ channel, Jen did another video. What's the name? What's the title of that video?
The thumbnail is Your Ideas Suck.
Yeah.
The active title, I'm not 100% sure.
Because we changed that
Things
stuff.
around here change quickly.
Yeah, we changed things very quickly. Go watch that. You'll see a little cameo by myself and John from the channel. All right. But okay, search-based versus browse-based. I love talking about this because there is a different intent here. So search-based, as we talked about, is what people are searching for. It's usually what I call a utility channel. The answer is usually the point of the video. You want to know how to do a thing, and then you're not necessarily there to watch anything else. You're there to get the answer. How to tie a tie. Oh my God, I'm going out on a fancy date. I'm going to the prom.
This is so funny because this is literally like our last episode, which was evergreen versus viral content.
Yes.
And suggested or not suggested, browse and search.
Yeah, but we didn't really say browse specifically. We never really said the word. Which
no,
I think,
we didn't.
And we should have.
Yeah,
That's why we're bad at this.
Part 2 right now.
Part 2.
Where we're talking that viral content is browse and the search content you're explaining could be that evergreen content.
It 100% could be.
Yeah.
So search-based content you're going to find when you search. Browse-based content shows up on your homepage.
That's what YouTube thinks you want to watch while you're browsing.
Right. And we've had this discussion before. Some people were like, well, what's the homepage? They thought the homepage meant something different. The YouTube homepage See, this is where words are tricky.
Why? What's tricky about the homepage?
Because some people thought homepage for YouTube meant something other than what it was. This was an email from like a couple months ago. I remember this specifically. They're like, well, that's not what the homepage is. And we said, no. The home feed, basically when you open up youtube.com, that thing that's in front of you, that's your home. That's the YouTube homepage.
That's your browse traffic.
That's your browse traffic. That's all.
That's you contributing to browse traffic.
Yes.
Possibly suggested traffic too, but.
So the point of that is that it's YouTube, the actual algorithm, so to speak, putting your content in front of people.
Doing the work for you.
Doing the work for. There you go. Such a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And that's where you go viral 9 times out of 10 is on the homepage and stuff like that with browse, because it's like this is the hot newness.
Yes.
This is the new hotness.
Yes.
And you probably want to watch this.
100%.
What's the new hotness on your browse? What's the new hotness on your home? Let me see what's on my home feed right quick. I'm curious.
Which I'm in airplane mode right now. What's
I'm gonna find out what mine is.
What's yours?
Now on mobile it's different than on. I usually watch on desktop, but it even says home at the bottom. It even says home.
Yeah.
Of course I do. Okay. My first thing is from a RC car channel that I sometimes watch. I got Linus Tech Tips. I got a picture of somebody. I don't know what that's all about. Some wrestling, and then some of my favorite things. Full episode of Chris Hansen Takedown with Chris Hansen. I love those. Love watching those. So that's on my homepage.
I love you just scrolling right past it, destroying click-through rates.
Yes. Scroll. Goodbye. I'll watch it later when I get home. So that's the homepage, and you want to be there. So the type of content that you're making for search base is a lot of times different than you're making for browse base. Titling, for example, could be way different. How to unclog a toilet versus you'll never believe what clogged my toilet, which is kind of the same thing, but it's a different way of putting it.
Different storyline for sure.
Yeah. So browse-based titles are usually more clickbaity, if you want to say.
So this, and all in all, this was a really big difference from what this person was creating. They're trying to make more popular content instead of just necessary content.
Yes.
And that's hard to do because that's far more creative and I would say far more rewarding and devastating.
Yes. And we talked about all of that in the last episode, what the difference is between those. So make sure you go check that episode out. It's the one right before this one. It was a great episode. We talked about a lot of things, including Namaste.
I'm going to let you have it.
Anyway, you got to watch it to see what I'm talking about. We got an email today, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to email us, you can always email us at theboost@vidIQ.com. And we get this one from Oliver.
Oliver's only 12 years old, too.
Oh, my. Okay, wait a minute. You have to be 13 and have a YouTube channel. This is illegal, but he's in the Netherlands, so maybe the conversion is he's 13.
He's doing Legos, so maybe it's just a kid's channel.
If we tariff him, is he 13?
Oh, my God. I don't even know.
And if he's 12 in the Netherlands, is he 13 here?
How do you know where he's from?
He says he's in the Netherlands. Well, he said it in the email.
I was like, I'm reading this right now. I don't see it.
I think the original email says he's from the Netherlands.
So Oliver's 12 years old, and we won't say running, we'll say participating in a Lego-focused YouTube channel. And he's been consistently uploading videos like set reviews, city updates, and live shows. He wants it to feel like more than a channel. He wants it to feel fun, connected, and like a community for Lego fans. And that really leads us into his question, which is, how do you do that? How do you build a loyal, interactive fan base early on as a small channel?
I love this question.
And we're here to talk all about building community as a small channel.
Do you know who's a huge Lego fan?
No.
Jeff, LFA Reviews. Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Legos too, actually.
Do you?
I'm not like I would say my sister is like she buys all the new Lego sets and stuff. Like, she loves Legos.
Really?
I just from time to time find a cute one and do a little Lego.
What ones do you?
I have one on my list right now that I want. It's like a pink typewriter.
Oh, see, I've seen some cool ones. I've seen
Yeah.
the Atari and the Nintendo ones. Whatever. Those look kind of neat, like the little Nintendo system and stuff. Those look cool. But a pink typewriter.
It's like a pink typewriter. It has a flower coming out of it. Super cute. But
did you know that I actually brought that here today?
Did you know?
How would I have known that? I'm like a pink typewriter Lego set.
It's so cute. I think it would be cute on my shelf.
I will say that there are some really big Lego channels out there. Tons. But they all do it differently. So you have those ones that are like stop motion.
Yeah.
Those are super dope. But probably very time consuming. Stop motion probably takes forever. And then you have ones that are like reviews. And then you have ones that are like news related, like the things that are coming out, the pink typewriter reviews and stuff like that. You have a lot of different ones. I don't know that Oliver tells us what their type of content is?
Yeah, it sounds like he's covering a lot, but this could also be something to consider when you're talking about building a loyal fan base.
Yes.
Like, it has to be a very clear thing that your channel stands for, especially as a small channel. Like, it should be so hyper focused and clear that your audience knows immediately, like, yes, I'm here, no, I'm not.
Yes, exactly that. And I think, so what ends up happening is, if you specifically said you want a community, which is great because I really believe strongly, we were just talking about this before we recorded, in community. I think it's one of the most powerful things you can get from YouTube, from doing a YouTube channel. And that brings me to a piece of, I've been thinking about this for the last like 24 hours, that your content isn't for everybody, but it can be for anybody. Now, let me say that again, because it might sound like I'm saying the same thing, but I'm not. Your content, including ours, isn't for everybody, but it can be for anybody. And here's what I mean by that. If you are focused on something very specific that you're passionate about, more than likely there are other people out there that have that same passion, even if they don't even realize it yet. Like maybe you get into something, you fall into something that you absolutely end up loving, but you would have never known had it not been for this TV show, this commercial, this friend who talked to you about it or whatever, right? That could be anybody. But not everyone's going to like your stuff. And, you know, every once in a while we get a comment or two like, oh, you guys talk too much. You know, first of all, it's a podcast. Of course we're going to talk too much. That's really literally the whole thing, right? So we're not for everybody. Some people don't like me. That's okay. Everyone likes Jen, so that's not a thing.
That's not true. When I was on the live stream the other day, someone was like, you have too much energy for the morning. I don't like it.
Really?
And I was like,
no.
Good. We're here to wake things up around here.
Wait until Savage got on there. So you're okay. Someone actually, well, that person is not a real person to AI for sure. But again, that's the case point. Everyone loves Jen, but not everyone loves Jen. So the thing is, your content won't be for you. Will get people out there that will just randomly, because maybe their lives suck, randomly say something mean to you, and that's okay. It's totally okay for your content to not be for everybody, but it's for just about anybody. Anybody who could just come across it, who maybe isn't a psycho, super crazy Lego fan, still might like your content. We literally had a viewer email us and said, I don't even have a YouTube channel. I have no idea what half the things you guys are talking about is, but I just like to watch you guys.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think when we break this down into steps, I feel like the first place that you could start is kind of faking it till you make it.
Sure.
Like, I feel like the last thing you want to do is when you have this mentality of, you know, making content for everybody, but everybody not liking it, is really acting like an authority in your space. Acting like you already have this community.
Yes.
Like, it already exists.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, literally faking it till you make it. Like, even if you have 2 people, 1 person who regularly comments, maybe you don't even have anyone who regularly comments yet, and you're working towards that. You gotta act like you got 100,000 people just waiting, bashing their keyboards, typing to you. And I think that's like a huge confidence thing, and people see that and they feel that and they enjoy the content more. Imagine if you were watching someone and like they weren't even sure of what they were doing. One, it would be really hard for what Travis is saying to make a definitive decision whether you like somebody or hate somebody.
Correct.
And if you're not really doing it on the platform,
yeah,
it's going to be harder to build a community. If you stand for nothing,
you'll
why
fall
should someone
for anything. That's one of my favorite sayings. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. I love that.
Why should someone stand behind you?
Right. Because you're going to fall. And they got to catch you.
They're going to protect you.
Who wants that? You got to do a trust fall with your audience. No, but this is a good point. And I love what you're getting at here. And I think it is super important to act like everything is. I remember, and I've never told anyone this. This is God honest truth.
Okay.
So when I was first starting out, I remember when I would set up the cameras and everything, and I would I had the camera. And for a while,
studio.
I didn't have
Travis had 10 subscribers studio. Bro, I don't even doubt it.
My first many videos were done in my living room. Like, I mean, come on. So I remember setting up, going, one day, this is for thousands of people, and I just always would put myself in a mindset like I'm talking to thousands of people. I had like 150 subscribers at the time. I'm like, this is for thousands of people. Let's get it going.
Fake it till you make it.
And eventually it got there, right? And that was cool. That was dope.
Do you think you would have had the success if you didn't have the mentality that you did at the time?
So you could fall into it, right? Some people just fall into it.
Okay.
But I think you're always in a better place if you prepare for it. And if you set yourself up and you're like, I know that I'm going to accomplish this. I mean, don't just randomly do dumb stuff and then think, yeah, that was great. I mean, take your time to understand what you're doing. Do a little bit of research, listen to us, think about things, talk to peers and stuff like that, and you'll get there. But yeah, if you don't believe in yourself after all of that, it's all for almost nothing. Where are you going? If you don't believe in what you're doing and you have no strong opinion of where you're going, how are you going to get there?
Yeah, you're the president of your club.
That's such a good way of saying
You're
it.
the leader. I think that's another thing to like talk about too, is like, while you're the leader and this is your channel, like, don't think about it as...
That was you who did that. No, go ahead.
I was about to say something so intense.
Please.
The screen wasn't even ready.
It really wasn't. Go ahead.
Don't
go there.
Think about this as... Little drum roll, please. Like, these are followers. Think about this like it is a club. Like, you are all in this together. It is a community for a reason. Like, you're not putting yourself on this pedestal for people to follow you.
Sure.
You're a part of this club. You're just leading it.
Yes.
And like that, putting yourself in that position and involved in that is so different and so much more welcoming, because there becomes like a disconnect. When you think about people, it's just like your subscribers, your followers, and these are the people I want to just like me. It's like, no, that's not community. Community is being a part of that.
Yes.
And that can be lost really easily when people think of like the success they want. But are you actively taking the steps now to engage with the community? Are you answering every question? Are you answering replies? If you have enough time, are you replying to replies? Yes. Are you encouraging your audience to start conversations with other people? Are you jumping in a thread there? Are you providing, really engaging things? And like eventually that time, you won't have that time to do that.
Yeah. And I remember writing my about page, which has since changed. But I remember when I was first putting together my YouTube channel, I was like, okay, what do I want people to know about my channel? What do I want people to know? It's like, I want to, and I put the words in, I want to build a community of like-minded people. Like, I remember writing that and thinking, I really genuinely want that. I want a community of people I can interact with, I can talk with each other.
Yes.
If someone else has a question or something, they can help each other. And eventually I got it, which was amazing. Those moments were amazing. And one of the things that I used, one of the tools I used to strengthen that was live streams.
Community building content.
Oh my goodness.
That's a whole thing we need to talk about, is what is community building content? We're talking about obviously things that I feel like are YouTube basics, like, sure, answer your comments.
Right.
You're supposed to do that.
I mean, you should. Why else are you here?
But taking it to the next, like, how are you answering those comments? Like, are you taking the time, if you have the time, to actually provide thoughtful responses? Mm-hmm. Or are you responding, thanks for watching, with like a smiley face?
Yeah.
Are you actually trying to build a community, or are you just showing up because you feel like you have to? This is what makes the difference. These are really the make or break moments, especially in the beginning. If you think about if you got response, like a true response from a creator that you watch on a channel, like, that's the greatest feeling in the world.
I think there are times even today that it's cool to hear back from even smaller creators that I just like to watch. I see this all the time. Like, I'll be in the comment section. I love it. I think there's something special about it.
I love showing up in the comments. I used to not leave comments. Mm-hmm. I was always like a lurker, like many people are. Mm-hmm. And then I started like really diving into leaving comments. Mm-hmm. And it is so fulfilling, and it is so funny to actually see people's responses. Yeah. Because it's just like you're just talking to people online. Like, you're just talking to people online. Like, you're enjoying watching them. You like who they are. Yeah. And then you've now started a conversation just with someone that you enjoy.
You know what's interesting about that is there was a time, and this all happened to some people depending on the niche you're in. You'll leave a comment for someone. Like, I was leaving a comment for one of my favorite creators at the time, and someone recognized me in the comment section. Like, oh my God, you're here, which was wild. Like, I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, I was literally, it's just something I wasn't even thinking about. I was just leaving a comment, and I was just hoping that they would see it. But to have someone else see, oh, you like this creator too.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in other videos I've watched. So just the other day I was watching a video and I looked in the comment section and someone left a comment about this much larger YouTuber. And then underneath had a whole bunch of comments like, oh my God, you're here. You like this guy? Do you like this guy too? And weren't you talking about a couple of months ago, seeing a collab you never thought you would see? You see like one creator and another person collab.
It always blows your mind.
Yeah.
You're just like, why are you friends?
Yeah. How do you know each other?
That's so funny. That's why I comment from like all of my accounts.
Yeah, it's like,
I have like my coaching account I creep into places with, and then the main channel account.
Yeah.
I creep in, but you wouldn't know it's me.
Yeah.
And then all my
Because it's the
other
refrigerator.
12 Gmail accounts that I creep in with.
Or burner accounts.
I love it. I love it. But when it comes to community content, what does community content even look like? Live streams.
Live streams are so strong for that.
Because we're not doing live streams with the hopes that we're going to get, discovered.
Right.
And the algorithm is
really.
going to pluck you out and be like,
I mean,
here.
it shouldn't be. It could happen, but like that should not be the reason you're doing it. Generally speaking, unless you're like a daily streamer and you're like a gaming streamer, you're like, well, I'm playing the newest game. Okay, in that case, okay, maybe. But I think what we're talking about here is very specific. It's like every once in a while you do a live stream.
Yeah.
To interact.
I see lots of girls who do live streams, like opening all their PR packages.
Oh.
Opening all their P.O. box things, like all kinds of things that their subscribers sent. And they do that. Why? Because it's their community sending them things. Mm-hmm. It's only for the community.
Yeah.
Like they're not trying to get people who aren't involved in this to see it, which makes sense. That is a good example of a live stream that is meant for your community. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then there's also just like community content. Think about channels that you watch that have life updates, channel updates. Maybe they move or something and it's, I'm moving. It's an announcement. It's something, I'm pregnant. It's something like exciting like that where it's not necessarily relevant to their channel, but they're updating people who care about them.
Yes.
And then go notice how much less views those get.
They will get a lot less.
Normal content.
But also pay attention to who shows up to those, because those are your loyal viewers and those are the people that think you're amazing and are with you through thick and thin, and sometimes are there when you need somebody. I hate to admit it. I've been on more than one live stream where I've lost it and I've cried in front of my live stream, but the people that were there comforted me, and then I could see other people comforting other people in the chat, and that really meant a lot to me. There was this one guy who was going through like just the worst time, like he explained in chat, like I think his wife had died or something, and he was going through just really just a terrible time, and then everyone was just showing him love in chat.
Yep.
And it just caught me in the feels.
Yep.
And I loved every minute. Everyone who was there was like, this is the greatest thing, because it was such a cool, uplifting moment.
It's really sweet. It's sweet to get to know your subscribers.
Yeah.
Because, like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, that's also, like you're saying, you're part of that community. Like, you care about these people. Like, the approach you have where you're all kind of breaking down together, and the approach I have where, like, you genuinely care about someone. Yeah. Even though they're a stranger.
Yes.
Like, they're still a stranger.
Nothing wrong with
but like you're the same. You are the community. You're not, above everyone else, and that's just your subscriber community. Like, no, you have to be a part of the community and do cool things when you can.
Yes, and we try to do that with our Discord. So our community lives in our comment section and of course in our Discord.
Yeah.
And we poke our holes. We poke our heads. We poke our heads to get your mind out of the gutter. We poke our heads into our Discord every once in a while, and we say hi. And then we do these things like these Q&As and then recordings of the actual episode in there to engage with some of y'all.
And we do fun things. We give away boosts from time to time.
Yeah.
We do, it is about giving back. It's not about giving back in a way that's like obscene and, financially irresponsible. But there are acts of, giving back to your community.
Yes. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I've done that more than I've done it a couple times off stream or whatever, so to say, so that people, not because the point wasn't for other people to know about it. The point was just to do the thing.
Yeah.
But I've also done it on stream just to kind of encourage other people to do it. So there's this thing, some people will try to shame you into not sharing and they've done this to Mr. Beast over and over and over again, where someone will do something kind for others and then they're like, oh, well, you just did it for the views. No, bro. The reason that I even got into doing things like this on YouTube is because I saw another YouTuber do it and I'm like, oh, that's really inspiring. It inspired me to do it. I want to inspire someone else to do it. So I don't really care it's great to get more views, and that'd be great for more people to see that, because I want people to see that positivity, but I'm not doing it to pat myself on the back, bro. I don't care about that.
No,
I really
that's
don't.
Odd. That's awkward.
I want it to inspire others.
It's not genuine, and people can see when things are not genuine.
Yes. Yeah.
And...
Yeah. So, for example, I'll give you an example of when I did this.
Okay.
But this was years ago. I saw a gentleman. I was at a food court in a mall when I used to leave my house, and it was very obvious that like he didn't have a place to stay. And I just decided I'm going to buy him lunch. I'm not going to give him random money. I'm just going to buy him lunch. Bought him lunch. Sat there and just talked to him for a little while, just to kind of understand his story. He must have been like in his 20s. He was not a little kid. Yeah. So I really just kind of wanted to understand his story. He told me a little about himself. And I said, do you mind if I take a picture with you? He's like, sure, no problem. So we took a picture, kind of did the piece. And I was like, all right, well, listen, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope you feel more fed. And he was like, yeah, man, thank you so much. And I just wanted to share it as like a moment of like humanity.
Yeah.
In the midst of everything that was going on at the time. And there were so many people like, why are you doing that? You're so close to this guy. You don't know where he's been. But I'm like, bro, can we really just be nice to each other and not shame? So I guess I say that to say this. If you were sharing something nice, you do something to someone in your community or even someone who's outside of your community to encourage your community to do more, which is what my whole point was.
The intention.
The intention
That's
was
really what it is.
Exactly. To get my community to be more broadly thinking when seeing someone who may be in need, to just be kind to them. I'm not saying you have to buy them lunch. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying just be kind. Don't let anyone talk you down from what you know your good intentions are. And if your community backs you up, you'll know, because your community will either back you up or they'll tell you, nah, that's a little bit much. You've gone too far. They're probably going to back you up, especially if your intentions are good. And if your community's backing you up, you're probably doing the right thing. Don't let these naysayers change your course.
Well, that's the difference between like having a community that stands behind you.
Yes.
And that doesn't.
Right.
And that comes from like who you are as a person and how you present yourself online.
Sure.
Because if you didn't present yourself in a way that was genuine, your community would not stand behind you.
This is the same way. Find out you're not genuine.
Yeah, and this is the same way like people, like your community will attack people in the comments for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have the community.
They will defend you.
Yeah.
They will defend you, which is great to see. I love that. I've seen that. I've seen it even on the Boost channel, vidIQ podcast channel. I've seen that once or twice. It doesn't happen very often, but someone was like, why are you doing all this? They're like, bro, I like this channel.
I love it. I love seeing that.
I love that. Yeah. It's so great.
I love seeing that, which is so funny. I just saw that on one of my friends' channel like the other day too, which was like just so relevant. Someone popped in and was like, why would you say that? You're being nasty.
Right. Yeah, like... they don't stand for that. So a friend of mine, Emily, who has she's been doing this for a while, but she has this thing where her core audience, which is pretty large, and her live streams, which have like thousands of people that watch, they know the rules. And when someone new comes in, she doesn't have to moderate a damn thing, because her community makes sure everyone's in line. And if someone says something that's out of line, they'll give them a warning. Hey, we don't do that here. That's not what we do. And if they fall in line, great. Then they can become a part of this large, really cool community. If they don't, they get booted out. And that's because she has cultivated, we'll have to have her on the podcast because she really did a great job with like how to get her community in line. She always talks about like, you set the boundaries of your community and they will, the people who love you will follow them. And it just works out that way. So there's this. I actually researched this for a video I did a long time ago about haters.
Did you just say research?
This was back when I cared.
No, is that how you say it?
Researched?
No, that's not what you said.
What do you mean?
Researched?
I researched it?
How do you normally say it?
I say I researched it. Why are you laughing?
Wait, you're saying it different. You're like going back and forth between like data or data.
I mean, sometimes I say it a different way. It depends on how I feel.
That's not normal.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Do you go back and forth between saying like data or data?
I usually say data, I think. I don't ever think.
You don't even know. You probably do go back and forth.
Maybe I do because I'm fancy.
That's insanity to me.
What are you talking about? You're so weird. What do you mean right now?
That is literally insanity. So like
what did I say?
Level of like the influx on how you say things. So I'll say this example. So like my sister will not say Red Bull. She'll say Red Bull.
What? I'm sorry. Sounds to me like you said the same exact thing. Sounds like you said the same thing. Say it again. Red Bull? Did you say Red Bull?
Yeah, like the emphasis is on the B. Like instead of it
I say Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull.
Okay, Red Bull.
It's just normally. But like the emphasis will be on like Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yeah. But like people do this for all different kinds of words. Like my family has like an ongoing list of like words that people say. I got
reamed for saying Intel wrong.
What did you say? Intel?
I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Maybe Intel. I don't remember. I got killed for it in the comments of a video I made once. I'm like, why are people having problems with this? You know what I said? Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm saying a different word people don't understand.
Because okay, so what?
So
were
I said
you
researching. Research. I don't see there's a difference. I researched it. I researched it.
Okay, well, what were you researching?
I don't know what I researched anymore. I forgot. You just completely took me off. You railroaded me.
I can't help it.
I didn't know I said that differently.
Gosh.
I didn't think anything of it.
Okay.
You know what it is like there's a lot of words and things that a lot of things that I say that I don't put the emphasis on thinking that it's that important for certain aspects. For certain people, it's a big deal. And I acknowledge that for certain things, for certain people, saying things in a certain way or communicating in a certain way is important. I just think it's funny because I don't think it matters because you know what I'm saying. Like I just
obviously I know what word you're saying.
I just think it's funny. Yeah. Because like there's nuclear and nuclear, and I don't know which one is right. I don't even care. It's like you know what I'm saying.
See, that to me didn't sound different, but like I'm sure it's different.
I'm sure it is, but to me it's like you know what I'm saying. So it's funny. Okay, it's fine.
But this comes into also like the lore building for your community.
Okay. Yes, because some people this will be a thing now.
Yeah.
100% we'll get comments about this whole little thing what we just said.
Yes.
100%.
And that's an important thing to have on your channel. It's never too soon to start doing that. Like you can have inside jokes even if you have 5 people watching.
How many people we talk about candy all the time? We get comments all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like just a world building that is a very easy thing for people to join in about.
Build a world. I love that thought.
Yeah, because if this was just our YouTube world alone, which is fine, like we only talked about research. If we only talked about YouTube.
Yeah, that's not how you say YouTube.
Then
research.
And I didn't. It's because I was going to say.
You were going to say research?
It's because I was going to say, and I resisted the urge to comment on you saying research.
Research.
Then there would be, I would say, a lot fewer moments for people to be able to chime in. Because the level of YouTube knowledge and some of the conversations we have could feel more intimidating to people.
For sure.
And if we're sitting here supposed to be, the experts, how easy is it for someone else to chime in with that being the only thing? Yeah,
I think it's important to understand what this podcast actually is. So we do, the large portion of it is about YouTube education. But so much of it and what I think makes it so interesting are the other things that connect it. So I know there's some people out there that would like the podcast to just be like straight to the point, whatever. But that's not what this is. And
that's okay. We got a main channel for that.
We do.
Go watch the main channel.
That's why we say this content isn't for everybody, but it can be for anybody. And that's exactly what this is. We have a community the community that we do have understands, gets it, and loves it.
Yeah.
We get emails every week talking about I binged watched everything until now. We had a comment this week that was like, I finally caught up to everything and now I'm sad I have to wait.
Devastated.
Yes. And we get that a lot. And I am so in my heart
so
full every time
grateful.
I read this. Thank you so much. So incredibly grateful for that. But we cultivated that entire community.
Okay, but what did we do specifically? Do you think there's anything that you can break down that? Because when you think of the vodcast component, the channel is small.
Yes.
Like, we don't rely on the main channel.
Right.
Like, there's been no, really crossover call-out type of thing.
So
like,
not really.
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
Because it is a little bit of a different audience.
Yeah.
And it's a different type of intention.
Yes.
But so when we think about that, we're thinking about, smaller channel. We're not getting hundreds of thousands of views on our videos.
Right.
So we're in the place that we're talking about, especially with the podcast being so old and it being revamped.
Right. We changed.
What have we done?
Yes.
That was different from the way it was.
I'm glad you said this because there's a very specific strategy that I took and that we've done together. And I use some of this from my experience of getting my community together, which is go into it with a plan, but be able to be flexible as things develop.
Okay.
So, for example, for my channel, and I'll explain how it went with vidIQ with this channel. I had this. I was like, okay, I want to have a saying because I wanted to make that like kind of viral branding between. It's like community branding where you have the inside jokes and everything. And I had this thing I wanted to do. I wanted to say this thing at the beginning of every video, and I want everyone to get into it and be a part of that. Like, let's go. And it was what up play is, right? So I'd always say that. But you know what? That wasn't what the community picked up on. They picked up on this other thing that I said one time on accident. And then they were all into that. So I had to switch this thing that I was getting merch made for this other saying.
Oh my gosh.
And they picked the other saying, and they're like, I only watch this channel when you say this. If you ever stop saying this, I'm going to stop watching it. It's like all those, like, I love when you say this. I love when you say it. So that became the thing. So I went in with one idea. The idea stands. They did catch on to something, but they caught on something that I didn't intend. Same thing here. What does everyone say to call us? vidIQ. We didn't come up with that.
No.
That was from an email. People within our company.
We need to remember who.
We need to go back and find out.
Find that, so as we talk about that, we can give them credit.
Can we get a Wikipedia page made, please?
Because we definitely did not
Can
come up
someone
with that.
please come up?
Nobody in the entire company came
You know what's hilarious with that? But it's been used within the company. I saw someone mention it in like another Slack channel or something.
That's funny.
So they're like, hey, it's up vidIQ. I'm like, no, bro, you got that from our podcast.
Yeah.
Which one our listeners called us the vidIQ. Now we hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we go into, and we also dove into when people would send in pictures of like merch and stuff they would do. The candy thing was literally only going to be one episode. We talked about candy corn versus Cadbury. That was it. All of a sudden, the community we're saying these things and sending in these emails. So we've been talking about it since October of last year. Why? Because
candy corn is delicious.
No,
that's why.
That's definitely not why. We still get emails to this day about candy corn that we started back in October when it was Halloweenish.
Oh, just wait till this year.
Oh,
it's gonna this season to shine.
Bro, I ordered 24 Cadbury eggs the other day because it's after Easter and I got them on sale. I told you I should
send me that. You sent me a screenshot.
I got them and I'm eating
And I was
them.
like, oh, what's this for? Like, you already made me eat one. He's like, no, they're on sale. They're just on sale.
They're for me. You're not getting none of them. But we went along with it. We could have just ignored it and been like, oh, that's fine.
Oh, that has nothing to do with you too.
Yeah. But we didn't. And because of that, I feel like we have emails we get today will even mention, and as far as candies go, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll see that in coming weeks in episodes and stuff. So I think that's one of the things is you start with an idea.
Yeah.
And let the community
the community will cultivate it too, because I think a lot of the times, like, we say or do or just have like mannerisms or things that like we're not even aware of.
Say like words in different ways that we didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's stuff that you are just who you are.
Yeah.
And if you're showing up like who you are, then
genuinely.
It could just go. Yeah, it could just go right over your head. Like, why would you notice something that's so normal to you? We should like put our channel through the podcast through ChatGPT and be like, what do we say?
What do we say a lot?
Like, break down like what each one of us.
It's not a bad idea, actually. By the way, I just thought genuinely, Jennuinely. Like, you're genuinely that person.
That's funny.
That's good.
That's actually the name of my refrigeration channel.
Is it genuinely?
Genuinely cold.
Genuinely freezing.
Genuinely frigid. Genuinely cool.
She's crispy. She's crispy. She's fresh. Was there anything else in this email before we finish this episode?
Thanks so much. Your advice is helping me chase my dreams.
I love that.
Actually, did we get to the bottom? So it was actually, there is a little bit, more, which we could get into a little bit, but also could be its own episode also, which is, what can you do to stand out and grow faster? And while this is kind of the opposite of the community content,
right?
Do you feel like we should do this in another episode?
That actually sounds like a really
because
good...
this is a deep conversation. This is talking about growth.
Yeah. We should probably save that for now. It's a really great question for a 12-year-old, which is wild.
They must be actively listening to every episode of the podcast.
I feel like, first of all, I've seen Oliver around in other, like in live streams and stuff. He's been around.
So he's a community member.
He's a community member. Totally community member. Very interesting that, and by the way, Oliver, take a look at like the way we've cultivated this kind of thing and how you fell into the podcast. Because I think, if I remember correctly, you're actually on the main channel and then kind of fell over to the podcast. Think about how you made that journey, what made you want to do that, and then consider how to do that for your audience. Figure out new ways to have your little honeypot, so to speak, of people to fall into.
Yeah.
And then you keep them stuck in the honey, and then they can't get out.
Speaking of sweet, should we do a candy?
To say, yes, I was literally about to say that. So we figured we would do a little candy podcasting, and our candy podcast that secretly is not a candy podcast. I was over in the store just a little while ago, and I was going to pick out some candy, but there's something I actually want to have now because literally I was thinking about this exact thing the other day.
What?
This exact candy the other day, but I thought they stopped making it.
This is why it caught your attention. It was on the brain.
Well, the thing is, first of all, the wrapper doesn't look like it did back when I used to buy it.
Okay.
But it was one of my favorite candies.
One of your favorite candy, like top 3 favorite candies?
It was definitely one of my top.
Did you get it on Halloween, or was it not a Halloween candy?
It was, I feel like it was a time limited.
Very big differences.
Right. It's not like a Halloween candy.
It's not in a trick or treat like variety.
This is a candy bar, technically. But it's not.
Okay.
Like bars are bigger.
Here's the ultimate war I will start.
Are you going to start
right
talking about,
now.
is a candy bar really candy?
No. Is a candy bar or a chocolate bar? Is candy chocolate?
Candy can have chocolate in it.
No,
obviously.
is candy chocolate? Do you want to know where this came from?
Is candy chocolate?
Yeah, do you want to know where this came from?
It doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
Or is chocolate candy?
Is chocolate candy?
Are they the same thing? Because
okay.
you called it a candy bar.
That means that a cake is a candy cake?
No.
Okay, you can have a chocolate cake then.
No, that's cake.
Right, but it's chocolate.
A chocolate bar or a candy bar. You just called it a candy bar. Why didn't you call it a chocolate bar?
I think that's what because in my mind, a chocolate bar is just all chocolate. You open it, it's just chocolate through chocolate, like a Hershey's bar. It's chocolate all the way through. That's a chocolate bar.
So there's nothing else. It's just pure chocolate that defines a chocolate bar.
To me, yes.
What if there was chocolate in the bar? Is there chocolate in that bar?
It's chocolate on the outside, and then there's something in the inside. So this is, to me, is like more of a candy bar. Because a chocolate bar sounds like it's just a bar of chocolate. Like a gold bar isn't gold on the outside and silver on the inside.
See, I don't think that's candy.
What do you think it is?
I think candy is like sour
candy, like,
candy, like Nerds,
I
Sour
have traditional
Patch Kids,
candy
like
in here as well.
Yeah, candy.
I have
candy.
that as well. Yes,
that's but like
different.
There's a weird world where like people call a chocolate bar a candy bar.
Candy bar is where I'm about to show you.
But to me, there's no candy in that. Unless you have a chocolate-covered Nerds robe.
No, I don't
Then
have
I'm like, that's a candy bar.
No, I went to the 7-Eleven. They don't have that kind of fancy stuff. Look. All right, look, here's what's going to happen. I know people are probably tuned out by now. But anyway, I used to love this thing. It was in different packaging back in the day. And when I saw it, after I thought it was gone, because I even looked on Amazon for it, I couldn't find it, I was shocked and amazed and excited. And it is Twix. I love Twix, but it's cookies and cream Twix.
Ooh,
I love cookies and cream, period. But cookies and cream Twix was my favorite.
Wait, did you think they stopped making Twix?
No, I think they stopped making chocolate cookies and cream Twix.
This was already a flavor?
For a little while. It came out in, I don't know when it came out, early mid-90s. And I used to buy it all the time. And then it seemed to have gone away. It didn't look like this. This was not the color of the casing.
Wow.
And then I'm pretty positive it actually did go away for a while. And then I remember it coming back like a couple of years ago, but then I thought it went away again. Because I even looked for it just like last week.
Someone's going to post the history of Twix cookies and cream.
By the way, last episode or 2 episodes ago, we talked about, Rob and I talked about what a Google was, which is like one with like 100
what a
zeros.
What?
A Google is. It's one with like 100 zeros behind it. And then I forget who it was.
I don't know what you're saying. A Google?
A Google, yes.
Oh.
Is one with like 100 zeros behind it. But then we started talking about, well, what's beyond that? And then someone literally gave us the entire history.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that person's like, oh, you want the history of
Yeah, and they did. They left us a big, long
Twix?
comment about it. All right,
Let me
have one of these.
Is it the left or right? I'm very particular.
It's 4 of them. I don't know. You want one? You okay? Okay, here we go.
I'm going to think this is 100% disgusting.
Do you think so?
I hate milk chocolate. I hate cookies and cream.
Oh, so good. I think it was better back in the 90s. Still good, though. I like it.
That's literally so disgusting, which is why I broke it off so that you can save it and you can eat it. That
Yeah, give me the rest.
tastes like... Actually, you know what it does? The cookie and cream part does remind me of like the Hershey's cookies and cream bar, which I used to eat as a kid. Like the white chocolate one.
Yeah,
I don't know
those
if
were
they
good.
still make those, but
Yeah, they do. I like those.
that was like kind of the throwback taste that gave me. But
Now,
like...
look, it's not high quality chocolate.
No, it would be probably like bad if it was because it's Twix. It should literally taste like a weird sugary concoction. It
This should taste like
chocolate.
what it tastes like, which is basically...
I'll give it that. It's a Twix.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Twixes are good, I think. But this would be the equivalent of high school cafeteria chocolate bars. But it's good. I like it. I happen to like it. I don't think it's like the best anymore. Cadbury's pretty high up now.
Higher than that.
But it's a cool... Here's a funny thing. Very nostalgic. Tastes like nostalgia.
That's the fun part. That's why you do it.
It literally tastes like I'm eating the 90s.
back to the 90s. That's what we're here to do.
Anyway, if you want to do something amazing for us, you can leave us a 5-star review. If you're listening to the audio podcast, if you're here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button if you're feeling awesome. And if you're feeling even more awesome, you hit that like button as well. And we'll see you on the next episode. Jen, I have a feeling the next episode I'm going to be trying one of your candies.
Yeah, you will.
Damn.
You'll probably like them, though, because I have great taste.
Let me research that.